I was dealing with CPS. They removed me from my house, tried to get me and my husband to get a divorce so he can get the kids back because I had mental issues. And apparently that's what they were saying. And in between that time, I ended up getting pregnant with twins. So in 2019, I had twins. And they didn't let me leave the hospital with my twins either.
Jasmine, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I have a little bit of both.
Go for it.
And also my mom's on the line too, because she's kind of part of this whole situation. Well, I've been dealing with CPS since 2018. Apparently when I gave birth to my daughter, a nurse overheard me say I was suicidal or something, and they got CPS involved. And so I was unable to leave with my my daughter. I have 5 kids actually, but I was unable to leave with my third daughter, Danae. I won't say her name. I was unable to leave with her, and so we went into court, and the judge dismissed sheltered care because my husband was able to get her or whatever because they thought I was having mental issues. And my mom, I have another child, and he's 14 right now, but my mom had him since he was 2 years old. So when that started happening, and she's a school district employee for 22 years, CPS got involved with my son, and they removed my son from my mom and put him at my dad's. Well, after that, I was dealing with CPS. They removed me from my house, tried to get me and my husband to get a divorce so he can get the kids back because I had mental issues. And apparently that's what they were saying. And in between that time, I ended up getting pregnant with twins. So in 2019, I had twins. And they didn't let me leave the hospital with my twins either. And they didn't let my husband even go pick them up. The CPS worker called the hospital and must have told him something. So the police had to give my kids to CPS. And so they went into shelter care, and the judge dismissed that also. Well, then I'm still obviously dealing with CPS because I'm able to see 3 kids, but I can't be around 2. So it doesn't make no sense. So I was able to pick up my other 3 kids and not be around my 2, and they wanted my husband to get a divorce. Well, then the CPS lady put a investigation. She kept on putting multiple investigations on my husband about my twin. And he's from Jamaica, and he's on a religious bush diet and stuff like that. So he goes on natural remedies and stuff like that. So what they did is they put an investigation on him, and then I took my kids they had like a area in Spokane to where I had to take them to get, see if they were neglected or whatever. Well, they ruled medical neglect, and my kids are autistic, and they have a developmental delay, and they were on Social Security, receiving Social Security prior to all this. And so now they separated all my kids. My twins aren't even together. My 6-year-old daughter, Esther, she's in Yakima. None of them, they won't place them with none of my family. They said it was medical neglect, and then they said domestic violence issues, because I do have a couple of domestic violence charges that were from my past. But there's no police activity. There's no reason why my kids shouldn't not be home. And my daughter, Esther, she was getting abused, spanked at a foster facility. I just feel that they split up all my kids, even my twins, and I'm just kind of lost. And my mom's on the line too, because we're like out of resources. I have an attorney, and I don't even know she's the court-appointed one. But I think they unlawfully removed my children, and I need to go to a higher court.
Well, you're working with a court-appointed attorney right now?
Yes.
Could I suggest something that you find an attorney locally and go for, a free or a low-cost consultation about where your case is?
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do. We've been trying to do that, and also I am a state employee also, so I work for Washington State. And so I don't understand why my children aren't home, and it seems like they're going through more trauma right now, being all separated in different towns and not even with my family.
But Jasmine, did you say that you have 3 of your children, or you have 2 of your children?
No, all 5 of them got removed. It started to where I did have 3 of them, and 2 of them were replaced with my husband because they removed me from my house.
Is your husband still actively involved in the case with you?
Yes, he is. We're still actually married.
Okay.
And we've complied with all of our services. I did my domestic violence assessment. I did a 9-hour psychological evaluation. I did a parenting component. My husband does his UAs because he was ordered not to drink alcohol. We've been consistent, and my kids got removed from us in October of 2020.
Are the children at least with family, friends, or with
relatives? They're in
relatives?
foster care, all in different towns, split up. Not even my twins are together.
You said in different towns?
Yes.
With the older daughter on her 4th foster home.
Yeah, my 6-year-old's been to 4 different foster cares.
Okay, have you guys talked with an attorney about having the children placed in one relative home or family friend's home?
Well, CPS is not in agreement to place them anywhere.
Hold on, I didn't ask you that. I said, have you talked to an attorney about this? Because
no, I have not.
Okay, so listen, CPS doesn't decide what happens. They make recommendations. And if you don't challenge those recommendations, like we're not going to place the kids in families' homes, that's going to become the law of the case. So when they do something or recommend something or won't do something, you need to have an attorney to go to court and challenge it, because it's the judge who makes the ultimate decision, not CPS. So if they say, oh, we're not going to place the kids with relatives, and you don't go to court and try to convince the judge to place the kids with relatives together, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, we have it. My mom's went to court, and CPS is never in agreement. And it's just, I'm not getting nowhere with my attorney. I've searched, and I've been searching for obviously like a year. I've talked to multiple attorneys, and a lot of them don't work with CPS. And there's some that are court appointed. I do have a good attorney, but she's not, doing her job at all, because I feel that, but there's a new law that passed, it's called, it's the HB 1227, I believe it's in Washington State. But I believe that there's no reason that will significantly threaten my children to be back at home.
We've even had the legislator, Mr. Dent, come from Olympia, Washington, to come meet with us and talk our case with him also.
Okay, so, I've told this to people tonight, and I'm going to tell you. Complaint with the Department of Health and Human Services, complaint with the Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division.
Okay, because I know we did complaints with the ombudsman or something of that.
Yeah, and if you listen to me earlier, somebody from another state, I said, and I did not mention filing something with the ombudsman. In my experience, that's usually a waste of time. I'm telling you who to file the complaints with.
So in Washington, D.C.?
What?
In Washington, D.C.?
No, the Department of Health and Human Services is in Washington, D.C. You're in Washington, but they're in Washington, D.C. But they have a website, and I believe you can file the complaint right online. So you don't have to write anybody or do anything like that. And from what I understand, these people take complaints against social workers in these types of instances, what you're telling me, and I'm going to assume it's true, they take it seriously and they do inquiry and investigation.
2 minutes.
Okay, so you have to do that.
Okay, so file with them. Yeah, but and then in order to get you don't have no references to attorneys in this area that, because we're able to, between me and my mom, we can retain an attorney ourselves,
Right. You know what? I don't off the top of my head, but if you call me at the office tomorrow and leave a message, I'll look through my Rolodex and talk to a couple people that I know and see if we can find you somebody up in Washington. My phone number is 888-888-6582, 888-888-6582. Hey, Jasmine, I want to thank you for calling. I want to thank you and your mom, and thank you for listening to the show. Call us back in about 3 or 4 weeks and let us know what's going on. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be back with more calls, more questions, more stories right after these messages.